Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell, it's time to crochet. I haven't crocheted in about 3 weeks, so my hands are nice and rested up. But if you guys watched some of my previous videos, then you know that I'm teaming up with Hobbii to create something for their No Shades of Grey campaign. They sent over a ton of different fibers and different colorways of yarn for me to use for this project. So after a careful deliberation, I've come to the conclusion that I would like to crochet a pair of leg warmers. So I have a crazy palette in front of me, and I'm gonna go ahead and link the other video up here where I did a full unboxing, a slight review, and talk through of all of these fibers. But just to give you guys a quick little recap, some of the fibers that I do have to use today are the Tweed Delight by Hobbii, really gorgeous worsted weight tweedy option. I also have a bunch of different shades in their extra fine merino superwash yarn, kind of like a standard #2 sport weight yarn, very simple and basic, but it's merino wool, so we love her. One of my ultimate favorites from this haul is the Sweet Tweed Mohair Kitchenette, every fiber all packed into one yarn right here. And then last but not least, I also do have some Woody Tweed by Hobbii as well, kind of like a sport weight DK weighted yarn with tweedy little nubs in there. I felt that it was only fitting for a video using all of this color and all of this texture that I would be using my brand new resin crochet hooks. These are going to be launching for Valentine's Day. And let's just go ahead and start working from the very top section of the leg warmer down to the very base. Now, my design for these leg warmers is rather simple. I really just want to start off with somewhat of a ribbed band at the top portion, work straight leg down, and then maybe towards the very bottom I can add a little bit of flare. That way it can go over boots or heels or shoes. So I'm just going to start grabbing some of these yarns and working on a ribbed band. Just started working on row 2 of these leg warmers, and as I mentioned, I do want this to have somewhat of a ribbed effect. So I'm working on a front post and a back post stitch, and then I think maybe after just one more row I'm going to change out colors. But at the moment I am using the Tweed Delight, such a gorgeous, just like a rainbow, pastel rainbow colorway, and it's working up really gorgeous. Hello guys, I'm checking back in because it has been a few days. I'm just taking a slow morning to crochet, watch a little bit of Netflix, but I thought I would catch you up on some leg warmer updates. So at the moment, this is what the leg warmer is looking like. Honestly, there's a few things that I feel like I could fix, but I'm just gonna roll with it and see how it comes out. I don't wanna undo all of these knots and tear out a bunch of work. So as you can tell, I'm alternating every few rows with just new fibers and new colors. So as I showed you guys earlier, I started off with a little ribbed band, and then because I want to switch it up and make stuff pop, I switched over to the superwash merino wool. But as I was crocheting with it, I noticed that because it is a sport weight, it's pretty darn thin, and I didn't want the whole leg warmer to be completely see-through. So I actually double stranded with the Superwash Friends yarn right there, switched up a few more times, and then even right here, as you guys can see, I added a few rows with the mohair yarn. This is the Sweet Tweed Mohair, but again, because it is so thin, I actually double stranded for both of these rows with the mohair. So I've just taken some time to honestly switch up, and every couple of rows I will also add in a different stitch pattern. So some of these are just double crochet, some of these are treble crochets, and then I started to get a little bit funky and fancy, so I added kind of like a moss stitch, but I actually worked the moss with treble crochets. And then coming up to the last few recent rows, I switched up to the woody tweed yarn, which as you can see, it is a little bit thinner, but I kind of like the variation in just texture and color and pattern design, and it's kind of hard to see, but with that woody tweed here on the last few rows, I actually added on, it's kind of like an X stitch or like a crossover stitch. So maybe when it's on, you can actually see it a little bit clearer. As I mentioned earlier, I do want to add a slight bit of like a flare or a bell bottom shape to these leg warmers. So I still have a little bit to go, but I think at the moment, all of the color and all of the texture is popping. I think this is so gorgeous and eye-catching. Hello guys, I'm back. It's been a few days. I look a little bit crazy, but I can officially say I finished up the first leg warmer. Now, getting the flare right took a little bit of trial and error. I first added way too many increased stitches to the point where it was like super wavy and ruffly, so I had to undo it a few different times, but I feel like this is a little bit better suited. So here's all the crazy color, a little bit of textural patterns mixed in, and now honestly is the time where I'm going to try it on now after I've already finished it and see how the fit and the flare and the drape of it is. So let me just pop this bad boy on. Okay, hold up. Let me put you on the floor. All right, one leg warmer completed. I'm actually so happy with it. It does look a little bit wide, but I feel like once I add on some like black boots or even like a heel, we'll really be able to see. Oh, look at that. That is so stinking cute. Okay, I'm a lot more obsessed with the outcome than I was planning and expecting. Look at this. It's so stinking cute. A little bit of a flare. I am noticing though that because the top is getting a little bit stretched out, I'm probably gonna have to go in and either chain a bunch and make like a little tie, like a little bow tie for the very front, or I can go in by hand and add a little bit of elastic. But look at her. Look at this flowiness. I'm so pleasantly surprised. So I think I'm gonna hop on a little YouTube live stream right now and get to working on the next leg warmer because I'm cutting it close. I need to finish it up in the next few days and edit this video. So let us go chat with some of the It's Erin B fam on YouTube.